So if you remember one thing from this presentation, it's that it's okay to be friends, communicate openly, and have fun. There's nothing wrong with having fun at work. Things first, what does it really truly mean to be an effective communicator? I went through 4 or 5 different books definitions trying to find the best one, and what I ended up with was kind of a combination of what they all think, and this is just my personal opinion of what it means. So communication is a transaction between 2 or more people, with all participants having an active role in the process. A speaker transmits a message and must ensure that the message is delivered clearly. A listener takes delivery of the message and must be an active listener. Effective communication takes place only when the listener clearly understands the message that the speaker intended to send. So, in a little bit simpler terms, what that means is that you have to know what you're saying, you say it clearly and concisely, and active listening from the message receiver is when they interact with the message itself. But we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. Honestly, you always have to think about your employees. Yes, they work for you, but you're still selling your product to them. You're selling what you stand for as a company, as a manager, to them, getting them to buy in to what you're doing. And so by focusing on what they have to say, what they're trying to get across to you, that's huge. If they think you're not listening, things like that, it almost makes it a futile conversation. And another thing is body language. He said pay attention to their body language. I also recommend you pay attention to your own body language. When listening, if you're just sitting there, someone's talking and you're just off in the clouds, that portrays to them that you don't care what they're saying. I recommend that you interact not only verbally with them, but with your body. When they're speaking, you shake your head, you say, mm-hmm. You lean forward, you look a little harder, you look them in the eyes, you give them and make it appear to them that you're giving your full 100% attention, and that will make them feel better about the entire communication interaction process that you're undergoing. So when you speak, you want to be clear. You want to have your message in the easiest, simplest way for everyone to understand as possible. Same thing, concise. Nobody wants to hear rambling. You have to be confident. You have to know what you're going to say and say it with conviction. And you also need to be articulate. Nobody likes to hear managers who don't speak well, who don't phrase things well. And a lot of times that takes some forethought before going into the actual interaction itself. So motivate your employees to be productive. Studies show that it's not just money that motivates. There's a few cost-friendly ways to motivate your employees and boost morale. And while they're just small gestures, these things can go a long way in helping your business become successful. How to motivate for free. We all love that word free, especially in the business world where budgets are tight, and we all know that. So I gave you some ways to help get your employees motivated for free. Handwritten thank you notes for good performance. Let them know that you've been paying attention to them. And it's hard to even describe how important it is. A lot of times when attending business meetings, I'll go in and the first 25, 30 minutes of the business meeting is just catching up with the other person who's in the meeting. And then you get into the meat and potatoes of the meeting. But at first, creating that personal relationship, hey, how's your kids? How's whatever. It makes it such a more genuine experience. Expect and welcome questions. You have to allow your employees to ask you things that maybe you don't even want them to know about, but if they ask it for you, you don't have to come out and flat tell them everything, but giving them enough information to make them feel like they're wanted. Again, make them feel like they're also owners of the company can be huge. Always, every time we talk about business, every time we talk about employee relations, he always says, we're only as good as the people we work with. From top to bottom, everyone is important. And one thing that Tom always says is that even in his work when he was the GM of these professional baseball teams, he would go and he would know the managers' names. He would know the players on the team's names. He would know the janitors' names. He would know the interns' names. He would get to know these people on an individual basis. He said he would even try to know the volunteers who are just coming out to help out and get the free hot dogs, say. He would try his best to get to know everybody because that helps you work on a more personal basis. And again, personal. There's nothing wrong with being friendly at work.